All right, here we find ourselves once again. Junk Shop Library's Improv Bible Study. Turning today to the 45th chapter of Book of Genesis. Let's dive right in. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood before him, and he cried, Cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians of the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph, doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither, for God did send me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God, and he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, and tarry not. And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou, and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. And there will I nourish thee, for there are yet 5 years of famine, lest thou, and thy household, and all that thou hast, come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring down my father hither. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck, and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren, and wept upon them, and after that his brethren talked with him. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come, and it pleased Pharaoh well, and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto thy brethren, This do ye, lade your beasts, and go. Get you unto the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. Now thou art commanded, do this ye. Take you wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father, and come. Also regard not your stuff, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours. And the children of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them wagons, according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. To all of them he gave each man changes of raiment, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver, and 5 changes of raiment. And to his father he sent after this manner, 10 asses laden with all the good things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses laden with corn and bread and meat for his father by the way. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed. And he said unto them, See that ye fall not out by the way. And they went up out of Egypt, and came unto the land of Canaan, unto Jacob their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not. And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived. And Israel said, It is enough. Joseph my son is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die. And that's Genesis 45th chapter, in which Joseph finally has had his fill of messing with the heads of his brethren, and says, It's me! And they stare at him blankly, confused. And he says, It's me, Joseph. I know you were introduced to me as Lord Zaphanath-Paneah, ruler of all Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. But here's the thing. I'm actually your little brother Joseph, you know, the one that you threw in a well and sold to the Ishmaelites. And I'm here on a mission from God to save the land from starvation and save y'all. And I must be here on a mission from God because, lo and behold, it's all worked out. I've saved the land from famine, and I'm saving y'all from famine. And I want you to go tell Daddy that I'm still alive and that there's plenty of food down here, thanks to a dream I interpreted. Let's see, 7 years of famine. We're 2 years into the famine, 9 years ago. But there's 5 more years of famine coming, so y'all don't need to have to take that Canaan to Egypt trek all the time. You can just come down here and live in Canaan. I'll set you up in Goshen, a nice little province down by the river. And we'll just all be one big happy family down here in Egypt. We'll let bygones be bygones. Just chalk it up to the will of the Lord. And the brothers say, okay. And Joseph gives them conveyances for how many sons and wives they've got back home, and all manner of stuff, and even more manner of stuff to little Benjamin. And they hike off back to Canaan. Imagine them rolling into camp, and Jacob's just sitting there watching the dust trail rise, and he's thinking, oh, don't let anything have happened to Benjamin. Don't let anything have happened to Benjamin. They roll into camp, and he says, did anything happen to Benjamin? And Benjamin says, well, I kind of got rich. And the brothers say, here's the thing. You remember that son Joseph that mysteriously vanished into thin air in the desert? And that you've been in mourning for, lo, these many years? Jacob, how can I forget? The brothers say, oh, trust me, we know. We know. We're very aware of how much you didn't forget. Well, here's the thing. He didn't so much vanish into thin air in the desert as he was sent into Egypt on a mission from God. He's alive, and he's governor of Egypt. And he sent all this... Daddy? Daddy done fainted. So they wake him up. They say, nope, you didn't have a stroke. You didn't imagine anything. You see all these wagons and conveyances and it's extra changes of clothes and that big honking sack of money that Benjamin's dragging along in a wheelbarrow? Those are all presents from your son Joseph, who is in Egypt now, and he's the vice minister of everything and director of grain supplies. And come to find out, he's the guy who gave us so much grief while we were down there. Apparently, he's just developed quite a sense of humor in all these years he's been away, and we've got an offer to go live there, and he says, worry not about our stuff, because he's going to give us stuff when we get down there. Apparently, they stockpiled. You remember those 7 really good years we had a while back? Apparently, he just built storehouses and stocked it all up, and that's why everybody is buying their food from Egypt, because Joseph, he interpreted a dream. Yeah. Jacob says, okay, good enough for me. Let's go to Egypt. Bye now. And that's all we get in 45. Yet more nothing happening, except a 100-year-old man fainting dead away when he finds out that his son is still alive. We will be back soon with 46. 46 ain't going to take long, y'all. Alright. Well, I'm going to head out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Join me again soon for 46, and in the meantime, as always, poke the poke to subscribe, and check out the rest of the playlist. You didn't see that coming, did you? Take care. Have fun.